Yeah, we do. So we set up our quick game kind of uniquely. We'll dual tag a lot of things in our quick game. So it's tag things left to right. And so with our quick game, like we would have, for instance, something that we call like a vertical speed out, a vertical by one and a speed out by two. We call that Ohio. A lot of times we'll tag an Ohio with a Seattle, which is a double slant, or we'll tag a Seattle with a snag, right? So our quick game is turned into two separate concepts per se, and a lot of times it'll give our kids the opportunity where we can throw to where we have better leverage, essentially, right? So if you're facing zone coverage, you can find out where you have better leverage, and we'll teach our guy like, hey, we like the leverage and the numbers in the grass over here, let's work this side. If we're getting man coverage and we've got a quick game called, we also have built into where they understand and know which side's the man beater and which side's the zone beater, right? So that gives them that opportunity where a lot of times, like a good quick game for us that we've utilized over the last 4 or 5 years has been Seattle snag, right? Or snag Seattle. And we'll call it left to right. So for instance, if we're driving and we've got a 2x2 formation, the first call is going to be to the left side, and the second call is going to be to the guys on the right side. And then there, we've actually gotten to the point too where if our kid's struggling at reading it, we'll do a simple point up there or come down here. So hey, you're throwing the double slants up there, or you're throwing the snag route or the Ohio route or whatever it may be, the Houston route down here, to keep it really simple for them. That's kind of how our quick games developed. If you can build a system where it's I've never understood coaches that try to make it complex on the quarterback, especially at the high school level, and furthermore at the junior high or youth level. Like, if you can build a system to where, and that system's going to look differently every year. Like, right. Our system at Otsego looked vastly different than what our system was here at St. Francis in year one. And it's going to look different again next year. Like, and I think that's the thing you want to, we have that's why I always just think it's funny when people ask, like, what do you run offensively? And I'm always like, well, we run the spread. And I laugh because I'm like, everybody's running the spread. Like, it's really a pool of things that we've kind of put together that we feel really good about what our kid's doing, and our quarterback can execute at a high level because we've made it simple for him. I started going over the script with him and asking him to, like, hey, walk me through what you're doing here, right? As simple as that. Walk me through. So for instance, if we had a play call double 58 wide delta, which is a play call for us, right? Double 58 wide delta. Double is the formation. 58 is the concept of the backs can do out of the backfield with the pass protection. Wide delta is one of those progression 1 to 2 to 3 reads for him. I'd ask him, and I want to hear him spit back to me. I'm going to read the play side corner. If he follows the outside receiver, I'm throwing the alert now. But if I see the outside linebacker flow over the top, then I got to get to my triangle. If the corner plays, quarters coverage and gets out of there and just kind of walls everything off, then I got to get to my triangle. And then I'm like, good, boom. All right, let's move to the next play. Let's go trio 31Y stick. Right? Trio 31Y stick. Okay, so I'm reading the apex defender between the tackle and the Y, or even the Y and our second receiver. If he plays a run, I'm throwing it. If he sits, then I'm handing 31. So I want to hear though, like, that's one thing that we started to do with our guys a couple years back, that where it's like, okay, if they're able to spit that back to me and walk me through what the play looks like, I know they got a good understanding of what they're supposed to be doing. And then you really know when it clicks with the kids when they come back to you after running a play and they're like, I should have went here based off of seeing this, and that. So I was to be very simple, when we started spitting plays out to them on the script ahead of time and asking them to walk through with us, what does that look like to them? That's been immensely helpful for our guys. We try to break it up into thirds for him, right? Where if there's a pre-snap option for him where it's now, take it, right? If there is no pre-snap option and we're asking him to do something post-snap, we're asking him to focus on one guy. Now, I think when you go back to the broader picture of that, he's got to see there's a couple main things that he needs to see when the play is going on. First and foremost, he's got to be able to, because this is a step to me. He's got to be able to see a signal or hear a play call and process what exactly his job is on that. That's step number one. Step number two is we like to give him the opportunity to at least see if it's a 1 high or 2 high defense. We don't ask him to see like if it's, cover 2 or cover 4 or cover 3. We simply just ask him, hey, is it 1 high or is it 2 high? And then if we've got a motion incorporated into our play call, he's going to be able to tell if it's man or zone based off guys moving or not. Right. So those can be immediate keys for him based off of pass game. A lot of times when you're asking a kid to just hand a football off in a straight run play, he doesn't have a whole lot to think about. Right. He's just handing in the zone run scheme where he's involved. We're asking him to focus on one guy. For us, like, I never want him to look at all 11 defenders and be like, where do I go with the football? I think at the end of the day, we give our guys play calls to where they understand like, hey, this is a really high percentage throw for me, or this is a low percentage throw for me, right? Based off what we've done in our week of prep. But the main things are he's got to have a great understanding of what his role and responsibility is first and foremost. And that's part of his process. And then he has to have some idea of what the defensive structure is that he's going against, whether it's a 1 high, whether it's a 2 high, whether it's a 3-4, 4-3. He's got to have an understanding in those 2 areas. And then at that point, he's got to be able to go play. So that's kind of how we break it down for him. And we try to keep it that simple for him, understand what your job is at a really high level and then understand what the defense is kind of giving you.